Hey! Alright everybody, episode 4 on the e-bike build. Now, you can see in front of me, look, wiring, lots of wiring. It's going to be a little bit, monotonous. Is that right? Monotonous? Monotonous. Can't even say it right. With all this wiring. Boring, cheeky sod. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be the most exciting thing we've ever seen. Anyway, keep tuned for the most exciting wiring you've ever seen in your life. Not really. So, I got the other side switch, and I've taken this one apart as well, because the wiring in this one's a bit weird as well. So, I took this bit off. There was these for the clutch switch wires, and there's a orange with a red stripe and a black. Now, on my diagram, it says the indicator has an orange wire, and also the hazard warning has an orange wire. But when you look down here, there's an orange and red, which is this one, but there's no orange wire. If you put the multimeter on it, the black wire, if I can find it, the black wire is what goes to the indicators. Because I did a test. I used the... I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, I put on that thing there. Continuity, that's it. Continuity test. Obviously, if you touch the... If you open circuit, it's like 1. If you touch them together, closed circuit, goes as close to 0 as possible. So I did that, tested all that. Black was the indicator, not orange, but when you open it up, orange is inside. So I reckon somewhere along here, black goes to orange. So let's have a look. Let's chop these off and we'll have a peek. Chop them off and let's have a look inside here. See if I'm right or wrong. I might be wrong. If I can get it to come off. It's quite tight in here, so I can't even move it. Oh. Really jammed in here. They are. So I can pull it from down here. There we go. Right. There we go. Orange wires go to black. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? And then we got red and white going to 2 red and whites. And we've got... What else we got here? That's just green and black. Green with a black stripe going to 2 green and blacks. And... Oh, that's green and black as well. Wait a minute. That's green and white, sorry. Green and white going to 2 green and whites. Green and black going to 2 green and whites. Green and blacks. Which is right. But why not carry that on with a... What's going on here then? See, we got the indicator. This is the indicator wire, right? Why is it on the clutch switch? I don't understand. Why would that be on the clutch switch? Am I bonkers or? So we got indicator wire, orange indicator wire coming in. That would be the live coming in for the indicators. But why would it go... Why would it go down the clutch switch? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have to alter this wiring as well. I got my little diagram here. First of all, looking in here, I can see the high and low. Anyway, I'll look in here. I'll change all that. I'll be back. Right, so looking at this switch and this switch, I did waffle on last video about the red and white wire goes to the light switch. Oh, I hit the camera then. Light switch. So the red and white on this one goes to the light switch, but it also came back down for the brake switch. So the lighting circuit, this wire here powers the lights and the brake, the rear brake light. Now, move on to the other side, and you've got the same thing here. Red and white coming in to the lights. So this is the turn around flash. That's the flasher, okay. But this goes into two, and it also serves the horn. So you've got the light circuit designed for whatever bike this is supposed to be, has got the lights, brake light and horn all running off the same wire. That can get a bit confusing, can't it? I assume a lot of motorbike bikes are like that. They share the same sort of wires. But when you go to wire things up and you've only got one of these and you try, it gets a bit confusing, doesn't it? So that's where I'm at. So what am I going to change? I'm going to definitely change this. I'm not having orange going to black. Black is supposed to be the ground wire, isn't it, right? So I'm not having any black being live. That's just daft, that is, right? So I've ordered some orange wire. I'll extend that down, so that'll be orange to orange, so I know where I am. I'll do a few tweaks to the wiring, and we'll go from there anyway. So, time to get the soldering iron out. Ho-hoy! So before I get the soldering iron out, I've done some changes to the diagram, as you can see here. It makes sense to me, it might not make sense to anybody else, but I did change one wire. I changed this had a red and white as well for the horn. I'm changing that to purple because I don't want the horn having the same as the lights, and I don't want the brakes having the same as the lights. Anyway, so that's how I'm going to do it. So let's do a bit of soldering, I think. So just before we get into the soldering, something turned up in the post, the DNM shocks. I'll be opening them in the next video because I think, hopefully fingers crossed, the frame will be turning up this week coming. You can see in the background is snowing, but not enough snow to build a snowman, unfortunately, so Mr. Spuds will be a substitute for a snowman. Anyway, let's get back to the soldering. Right, so here we go, doing a bit of soldering. What have we got here? There we are. This is the horn which was attached to the brake light. I've taken that off the brake light, and I've done this one already. I've soldered that one like that. So I've changed the red and white to purple. Right, so that's that one done. I'll do the heat shrink a bit later on. Next one to do is this here, orange. Now remember, the orange was going to black. Yeah, there's a bit of black left on there. And we don't want that, do we? We don't want black at all. So what we'll do, we'll have orange go into orange. Different colour orange, but doesn't matter, it's orange, isn't it? Right, so we'll cut that off there. And we'll bare these wires a little bit. And then we'll see how we go. That's the way I do it. I score them a little bit, bend them over, and then pull it off so you don't lose any of the copper. Let's do that one the same. Bend it over. Bosh. There we go, right? So like, is that going to be long enough? Should I do one a bit long? Let's do a little bit more on that one. Not quite enough, I don't think. Like that. There we go. Get the orange one. And I've already got a bit off that one there, but there's a bit sticking out there. Just make that a little bit longer there, that one. Now this orange wire I've bought, the outer sheath is thicker than that one for some reason. I don't know why, it's just some wire manufacturers are different than they. Now, some people solder the wires together like that. That's not, now a lot of people on YouTube will say you don't do it like that because they can break off. I used to do it like that in the past because I didn't know any better. But now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist these two together like that. Twist them down like that. And then I'm going to get this one and I'm going to put it sort of halfway like that. And try and twist them around each other. If that makes any sense. I'm going to twist that around there. And I'm going to twist that around there. Like that. Push them in together like that. So I don't know if you can see that. They're sort of twisted around each other now. I'll get my little helping hand. You can come in and hold it like that. Now I like to use a little bit of solder. That's just Silverline soldering paste. Just a little bit of this. The solder seems to flow better into the joint if you've got a little bit of flux on it. Get the old soldering iron out. Bish bash bosh. Is that? Blow the smoke away from you because it's not nice, is it? And then we'll just solder it in. See how that flew in. See how that flowed straight into there then with the flux. So that's that one done there. Let's put that back in there in a minute. Get myself some heat shrink. I think I got some. Well, that'll do there. This black one here. The heat shrink. Will I go over the two of them? I don't think I will. Well, I need a bigger one of that. Let's have a look in my bag of stuff. I might have to go with. Oh, don't want clear. What colour have we got here? Orange. I think I'm going to have to go that size, isn't I? Because that's not going to go over there, is it? Let's try it first. No chance. Right. Look at my ones. We'll go for that then. That should be alright. Bit of heat shrink. Obviously, cut it longer is going to shrink, isn't it? Pop that down here like that. Pop that in here. Anyway, that's that one done. I'll get a heat gun out at the end and do them all. So it's handy to have. It's handy to have one of these, and it's handy to have something to hold the soldering iron. This and the solder. This solder here. It was 20 quid on Amazon, I think it was. So it's doing the job. It's fine, it's okay. What else am I going to do? So I'm going to resolder, I'm going to cut this one now and solder it together. And I'm going to leave these ones as they are, these green ones, but I'm going to just run a bit of solder in them and put heat shrink over them. There was tape on them, I've taken all the tape off. So anyway, I'll stop waffling and we'll do a sort of time lapse of me having a bash at this, okay? Right, here's the step-down voltage converter I've bought. Let's move that away. And it's got an input range from 48 volts to 96 volts. Obviously, I'm doing a 72 volt, which does go up when it's fully charged, is more than that, but 96 volts covers it, so within the working range. The output from this then is 12 volts. It's got 25 amps and it's 300 watts. The red is the live in from the big battery, and the black is the negative in, and then we got written on here the blue is the negative out and the yellow is the plus out. Now on the switches I'm using is using 0.5 mil. Now 0.5 mil is good for up to 11 amps. So I'll tell you what I'll do. This can do 25 amps altogether. I'll put up this website now where we convert watts, volts and blah 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 into amps, and I can show you that I should be all in spec with the headlights and all the lights on it. So here's the website, and if I take the headlight for example, it said the headlight is I think it's maximum of 40 watts LED headlight. So I put in 40 watts at 12 volts, we press calculate, we come back, look at 3.333 amps. So that's well within the range of the 11 amp max on the 0.5 mil wire. But you can see that why I wouldn't want to run one light cable wire for the front headlight, the back light, the brake lights and the horn. I wouldn't want to run them all together. That's why I'm doing them separate, because I want to stay well within the sort of, you know, I don't want to go hitting the max. So the rear light is probably going to be it's going to be 1 watt. It's going to be LEDs. So it's going to be 1 watt. So if I calculate that, look, it's not even, look, it's hardly nothing. 0.08 amps. Look, so that's the headlight on, and the rear light on the one cable will be well within spec, if you know what I mean. So I think that's enough wiring, because it's going to get really, really boring. Remember that bloke in the beginning who said it's boring? He was right. Hey, so there you go. So that's enough wiring for now. Like I said, the vector frame, hopefully it should be here this week sometime. So the next video, hopefully, will be about the frame, comparing the vector frame to the Chinese-made frame. The one that's made in Europe looks a lot better. So, you know, fingers crossed, all's good. Could you give it a like? or a dislike, whichever you prefer. I prefer a like though. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ahoy!